Using the diagrams below, find the length of the indicated arcs. We want to find JK, and we're finding the length of the arc. So I want to circle that. And when we find the length of that arc, we're going to be using a proportion. And I'm going to call the length of the arc JKX. And then in our denominator, in the bottom of the fraction, we're going to put the circumference. 2 times pi times 7. And then on the other side here, well, the measure of our central angle, which is also the measure of our intercepted arc, is 160 degrees. And then divided by 360. And we can simplify that just a little bit here. That's x over 14 pi. 2 times 7 is 14. Equals 160 over 360. And now when we solve this, we're going to cross multiply. So it's going to be 360x. I multiplied these two together. And then we're going to multiply these two together. And 14 times 160 is 2240. 2240. And it wasn't very good on the directions. So I'm going to have a couple answers here, but we can divide both sides by 360. So we can take the 2240, divided by the 360, and that gives us that big long decimal there. But what if we did math, enter, enter, and it gives us 56 ninths? Was one of our options. We could have kept our decimal, which is the 6.22, and say x equals 6.22 pi. Or what if we didn't use pi, or we took that value, and we said 2240 pi divided by 360. We get 19.55 if we round to the nearest hundredth, because we're looking at the 7 to round for. So 19.55. And let's look back and see if there's any units on here. That's going to be a feet. Same idea over here. Try not to make the units and the answers so complicated this time. But we're going to be finding the length of ST. So we're going to call that X. And we're going to divide it by the circumference, which is 2 times pi times 14. 2 pi r. And then equals 50, the measure of our central angle, which is the same value as the measure of the intercepted arc, divided by the fact that there's 360 degrees in a circle. So we can simplify that a little bit. It's x over 28 pi equals 50 over 360. And we're going to cross multiply. This one's this, this one's this. We get 360x equals 28 times 50, which is 1400 pi. And then we can divide both sides by 360. I'll leave the answer in terms of pi. So we've got 1400 divided by 360. It's going to give us a decimal here. But again, if you hit math, enter, enter, we'll get the 35 ninths. I think Desmos does that a little bit simpler. And we get 35 ninths pi. And otherwise you can multiply that out. You can use the pi button to multiply that out. The difference from 6 to 7 here is that we're finding the area this time of the shaded region. So it's basically, it's going to be a similar setup. So it's still going to be x over, well, this time what we're going to use is we're going to use the area formula, which is pi times the radius squared. And in this case, the problem has a radius of 11. Still going to use our central angle of 120 degrees divided by 360. This measure of the central angle has the same value as the measure of the intercepted arc. And again, we can simplify that just a little bit before we actually apply the math. We get x divided by 121 pi equals 120 divided by 360. And now we can cross multiply. So we get 360 times x equals 121 times 120. 121 times 120. So we get 14,520 pi. And we can divide both sides by 360. So 14,520 divided by 360 gives us that big long decimal. But again, I wasn't specific on what we should round to. I left pi in there, so I'm going to go math, enter, enter. We get 121 over 3. Pi. Again, watch out for what we're looking for. Find the area, find the length. They look like remarkably similar setups, and that's why I circled that, because length means that we're going to be using circumference, like we did on problem number 6. Area means that we're going to be using area. So on this problem B here, it's going to be x over the area formula, pi r squared, equals the measure of our central angle, which is the same value as the measure of the intercepted arc. And then there's 360 degrees in a circle. We can simplify this a little bit, and we get x divided by 196 pi equals 40 over 360. And we're going to cross multiply. We end up with 360 x equals 40 times 196. 40 times 196. And that's 7,840 pi. And then we can divide both sides by 360. And I'll get rid of, I'll multiply it all out on this particular one since I wasn't specific on the directions. So we can take our 7,840 pi. I just did second and then that caret button, which is in red right now, divided by 360. And that'll give us our value. I'll round it to the nearest hundredth. So I'm going to look at the 6 to determine what to do to the 1. Since 6 is 5 or higher, we'll round it up to 2. So 68.42. Is the area. And technically, again, I know I won't get caught up on units too much, but area is measured in square units.